Hey guys, I'm Alex.
And this is Frank.
And welcome to tcoms. This week, The Big Bang Theory.
What a week it's going to be. Got a lot of thoughts going into the show. Alex, I know the whole idea of tcoms came from you telling me how much you enjoyed The Big Bang Theory.
I love The Big Bang Theory.
I was making fun of it. I said I wanted a plane ride, and I just so happened to watch it. Thank you, United Airlines, for this whole experience.
For
sponsoring this great podcast here that we got going on. So tell me, what are your thoughts on The Big Bang Theory before we sat down and watched these 5 episodes together?
Well, first of all, tcoms, what we do here is...
Good call.
You know it. What we do here is we sit down every week, we watch 5 episodes of a sitcom, but we watch the top 5 rated ones according to IMDb users.
Yes.
And then we rate them ourselves, and then we give the show an overall rating. We give it our thoughts. It's a good way to expose ourselves to new shows that we haven't seen and to, of course, revisit ones we love, and in Frank's case, see ones that we don't like.
You know, maybe my mind's going to be changed. We don't know.
It's very true, but entering Big Bang Theory, I am a very, very big Big Bang Theory fan. I love the Big Bang Theory, created by...
Talking to the number one banger over here.
I'm a huge banger.
Yeah.
Chuck Lorre, Bill Prati, the creators of the Big Bang, God bless them. Johnny Galecki, Jim Parsons, Kaylee Cuoco, Simon Helberg, Kunal Nair, Melissa Rauch, Mayim Bialik, the big stars, all 200-plus episodes. I think it is the best sitcom that I have laid eyes on in my lifetime. It is... I don't want to say far and away my favorite because I have a lot of favorites. There are a lot up there. Community, Arrested Development, those are my kinds of shows. And this kind of strays off the path of those two. But good Lord, do I love The Big Bang Theory. Frank's making a blank look at me.
Because that was a bit of a mouthful. Look, my whole thing with The Big Bang Theory is I remember when I was really young. I had to be like 12 years old. I was this chubby, nerdy, fat kid. And The Big Bang Theory came out at like the right time, because it was right around the time where like, oh, it's cool to be a nerd. Like it gave me that kind of vibe. So that's why originally I loved The Big Bang Theory. But then I'm like looking back at it and I'm watching some of these older episodes and I'm like, this show is just, you know, the meme with the emoji with the glasses where it's like, technically this, like if that was a TV show, that's what The Big Bang Theory would be. It's like they use these big words. I just don't like the show because I think it makes me feel stupid. That's my whole mindset.
It makes you feel stupid?
It makes me feel stupid. That's my whole mindset with The Big Bang Theory, is I just felt like I started off really loving it because of where I was at in my life, at peak being a 12-year-old. I really identified with The Big Bang Theory, and then as time went on, I guess I just lost interest.
That's such a shame, because it's 12 seasons of beauty. 12 seasons of beauty.
I will say I was very... very negative on my perception of The Big Bang Theory before we did this experiment.
It's a great experiment.
And I called it an experiment because I get it. I get it. I don't I don't love it.
But you see why.
I can
see why.
I can see why.
Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
The 5th top-rated episode of all time in the history of The Big Bang Theory, Season 3, Episode 22.
Yes.
Their staircase implementation. And the quick synopsis, Leonard tells Penny about how he and Sheldon became roommates and what happened to the elevator.
Yeah. Easy points right off the bat. It's got Glenn from The Walking Dead in it, Stephen Yeun. You want me to like the episode? There you go. That's great right off the bat there. I also have in my notes here is that the intro for the show...
It is an all-time sitcom theme song. Like if there was a tier list... And I'm sure that'll be an episode one of these days.
I'm sure we could do it.
A tier list of theme songs.
I'm not saying it's number one or anything.
It's definitely. I think it's A or S tier. It has to be.
I can give it an A tier.
Okay. It might be S tier for me, but
like you hear the song and it's like, you know how when you hear the Seinfeld theme song, yeah, that's Seinfeld. It's the same thing with The Big Bang Theory. Like it encapsulates the show so perfectly. That's another thing I got in my notes, that the intro is just perfect for the show. Moving on, because. This is something, I feel like it's because you've sat through the whole show and you've watched it before. I have
twice. I've at least seen it all the way through twice.
So I guess you're more conditioned to accepting that's the way it is because that's how the show is.
Yes.
Early Sheldon, I can't do it.
Early Sheldon? Well, this is a flashback episode.
Yeah.
So this episode is being told through the eyes of Leonard to Penny, and it's a flashback of when Leonard first rented the apartment. So you're supposed to hate the Sheldon character. You're supposed to be like, Leonard, what in God's name were you thinking? Everything's exaggerated because it's Leonard's point of view. And this is like me becoming a literature professor here. But you got to think about this. It's supposed to be that you hate Sheldon. You're supposed to hate Sheldon Cooper.
And I know that you're supposed to hate Sheldon Cooper, but it gets to a point where I'm just like, can it tone it down just a little bit?
This was before his girlfriend, before his friend.
Well, exactly.
He is supposed to be the most antisocial weirdo you've ever seen.
And that's why
it's perfect writing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad that we, like, some of the other episodes we're going to get to were in the later season, so we got to see a more toned down Sheldon. And that's the one thing I told you when we were done watching it. It was cool starting off in this early episode in the seasons, and then we sort of moved on to seeing Sheldon evolve into a more concrete character. Like, I enjoyed seeing that, but if I had to watch another episode, like another 3 or 4 episodes from early Big Bang Theory, I don't think I could do it.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't think I could. He's so frustrating.
That's the point.
I know that that's the point of the character.
I'm going to just beat on that dead horse until you understand it.
You can hit it as much as you want. I just can't.
Just can't do it.
I can't. It's like every stereotype I associated with the show wrapped up into one package. But I did used to own a Bazinga shirt with Sheldon's face on it growing up. Yeah.
Bazinga.
Yeah, it was bright red. God, take me back.
What else you got on that note sheet of yours?
Just another note that said, Sheldon is really annoying. I've said, who asked for this show?
We have just watched these. We walked it straight from the television into the studio.
Like, kitchen to table.
Yeah.
That's how fresh these reactions are tonight. So I asked, who asked for this show? Sheldon has really twitchy eyes.
That's the point of that episode. I can't just let you slander it on the first episode.
I got a little more. During the flashback, there is Leonard. Leonard does have a sexual relationship with one woman. So I wrote in my notes, there's no way that he pulls with that hair. I need to know the story behind meeting this woman. Followed by, never mind. They just explained she works for, what was it?
The North Korean. She was a North Korean government.
She's an agent trying to get
spy.
rocket fuel. That was the most realistic thing from the show. I'm not. Maybe it's just me being an asshole. Leonard and Penny, I'm not buying it. I'm not. No.
You don't buy it.
No. Plus, what's the name of the actor that plays Leonard again?
Leonard?
Yeah, Leonard.
I believe it's John Galecki. I was correct.
It's like the more we watched it, his face, the more sad it got throughout these seasons.
Yeah, because he has to deal with Sheldon Cooper.
And like,
that's the point!
And like, you can get the sense that this actor hates the lines that he has to say. He just looks so pissed off arguing about this nerd stuff. And I find it so funny.
Jeez. Oh, man. So, at the end of the day, the flashback's over, and you turned to me and you said something after the first episode. Do you remember what you said?
I do not.
I don't either, but it made me laugh pretty hard, and I really hated it.
Oh, did we call Raj a bootleg Fez?
Yes!
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, we called Raj a bootleg Fez, because it's literally exact same character.
That's right.
Fez didn't talk to women for a while, too, or Fez was at least scared to talk to women. Raj has that exact same arc in this show. I'm sure as the season goes by, they differ in a lot more, or in a lot of other ways. But as of this first episode,
I mean, they follow the same archetype. They are the foreign, awkward person.
But, like, I think this isn't a Big Bang Theory issue. I think this is more of an issue with just sitcoms in general.
Well, yeah.
But why? You know, like...
for what reason?
Like,
and to that point, Fez is like, they make gay jokes about Fez all the time. They do the same thing with Raj throughout all of Big Bang.
And it's, again, just why?
They're both like flamboyant, over the top, and it's like,
haha, doesn't talk to girls, must be gay. Like, guys, this show was in 2008. I guess we weren't as advanced then as we are now. That 70s show gets a pass because that show was made in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
According to the title.
According to the title, that show is indeed that 70s show.
Any other thoughts on this episode?
This is a legitimate criticism I noticed, not just in this episode, but as the show went on. the laugh track is excessive.
Okay.
But you did tell me
I did agree.
You did say that it was filmed in front of a live studio. So maybe that explains why I thought
I've taken the Warner Brothers tour. So
have you actually?
Yeah, I have seen the one. I've been on the. I was on the Ellen stage.
I saw the Big Bang Theory set.
Actually, we filmed in front of a live studio audience.
I sat where Sheldon sat.
It's a spot.
I also wrote in my notes here that no one in the show is screwing anyone. I think that was just in terms of sexual relations, but I can't remember why I wrote that
because
down.
of Leonard getting in a relationship.
It probably was. All right, but
all right, let's.
Oh, you want to do overall?
Yeah.
What do we?
A ranking. IMDb has this as a 9.0. I have it at an 8.5. It's a good episode.
I gave it a solid 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't. So like when we watch when we watch Mike and Molly,
Ooh.
what are you gonna? Are those gonna be like 5s? Like, I don't understand where this scale starts and ends with you. And this is the first episode you've ever ranked.
Well, it starts at 1 and ends at 10.
Well, yeah.
That's it. I'm watching the Big Bang Theory. When Mike and Molly come to town, that's the Mike and Molly issue. The Big Bang Theory right now, the first episode, season 3, episode 22, solid 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I feel like that's respectable. All right, what episode are we looking at next?
9/11, season 9, episode 11. The opening night excitation. Leonard, Howard, and Raj have to decide who will take their extra Star Wars movie ticket, while Sheldon plans something special for Amy's birthday. It's coitus.
You know what? Spoiler, I did give this episode an 8 out of 10.
Woo!
No. I need to change that.
Where's the decimals? I need the decimals.
Bullshit. You don't need a decimal. Everyone's throwing. What was your ranking for the first episode?
8.5.
Where's the 5? Just give it a 9.
No.
But no.
It wasn't a 9.
But no, I gave it an 8.10. When we do final rankings, that's going to change. Okay. Because this is a good episode. I actually, looking back, I really like this episode.
This episode's good, right?
This is a funny episode.
This is peak Big Bang. I think seasons like 8 to 10, peak Big Bang.
Now, a lot of my notes, however, did just turn into me making fun of the Disney Star Wars trilogy. Mostly
I think this is the perfect place to do that.
Exactly. But like mostly because I remember the hype for episode 7.
We all do. I was there. Midnight showing. I was there.
I wasn't at the midnight showing, but I remember AMC theaters selling out. Months.
It's the only time I've never had a good seat to a movie. I was like on the end of an aisle. And it was still awesome. I got chills when they played the scroll. I got chills. I loved watching the 55-year-old men stand up and clap in tears. Dude, it was awesome.
What a time to be alive when grown-ass men crying over Han Solo dying. It's still real to me. Come on. That's why I was making fun of whoever asked for this show to come out. I'm glad that this show came out so that we can make fun of nerds for taking this stuff way too seriously.
I think, first of all, this episode had some fantastic writing.
Yeah.
The parallels between Amy and Sheldon's coitus experience and the Star Wars opening night were beautiful.
All right, a little bit of context. I asked Alex halfway through the episode, I'm like, are they trying to compare seeing Star Wars Episode 7 to having sex for the first time? And he's like, just you wait. And then literally the two scenes mirror each other. That, yes, Star Wars Episode 7 is better than
It's not equal to.
If not, no, it's not equal to. I'm telling you.
I got the vibe that it was equal to because he said, I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought. And then there's Amy right next to her like, yeah. And she's like all messed up in the hair and all that.
Which is an awesome thing to say after sex, by the way.
So, and then they parallel it with Raj, Sheldon, and Wallowitz. And they're all like laying out on the movie theater chairs like, oh, yes. I can't move my legs.
Now imagine if they came out with an episode for The Last Jedi.
The place would have burned to the ground.
That's the bad one.
I would like to shine some light on Amy Farrah Fowler. I think besides Sheldon, she is the best written character on the show. I think Amy Farrah Fowler's character follows the best arc. She's Sheldon, but it's accelerated. And I think she's just so funny. She has that dry humor that I love dry humor. I love it. I think it's so good. Guys like Bateman that do it so well. I love characters like that. And I think Farrah Fowler, while she's not always doing the dry humor, but a whole lot of her character is, and I love it. I think it's a fantastically written character.
Now, I just think I'm gonna agree with what you said. Now, obviously, I can't speak to the whole character arc and everything just because I don't know the show as well as you do. But I will say, like, up until the point where Amy and Sheldon were gonna have sex, the thing that got me with this episode was how sweet the characters were acting towards each other. And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's just a nice moment between characters.
Mm-hmm.
So for as sometimes raunchy and mean-spirited as the show can be at certain times, it's nice to see it sort of slow down for a second, have those really nice character moments. And then I think it's great that it's contrasted with the three guys going to see Star Wars.
Yes.
And you had Will Wheaton show
Yes,
up.
I think "Live Long and Suck It" is one of my favorite jokes from the entire series.
Dude, but
I laughed out loud.
You did.
Out loud. I gave a verbal laugh, and he turned around to me and said, "Really?" And I said, "Yes, Live Long and Suck It is a hilarious joke."
Well, because I also think that Will Wheaton has a message that must be spread to people online, is that these movies do not matter. You know,
You're one to talk. We're sitting here talking about sitcoms.
I know we're talking. Okay, but like, if a sitcom's not good, I'll complain about it online. I'm done.
That's it.
Like,
End of story.
Like, there's so many fan base that will like boycott franchises because they don't like what's come out, but then they'll go see the next one. So I like that they're willing to poke fun at that audience because yeah, it is really, really funny. So that's what they're like, not afraid to pull punches with certain groups of people, and that's awesome.
That's the point. Though their whole base is nerds.
Yeah, they're targeting nerds, but they're making fun of them.
Well, they also appeal to them too.
Exactly.
Look at the guest stars they have on the show.
Oh, then I also had a note here that the shots in the theater of them going to see Star Wars, way too accurate. Did not like that.
What do you mean?
With people like going to the movie theater dressed up.
Well, yeah. What did you expect?
I don't know about you, but like as far as dressing up goes for a movie, I don't care how big the movie is. That's so weird to me. That's like a never.
Why do you hate people that have fun, Frank? Why do you hate fun? Expand on that.
I don't hate fun. It's not my brand of fun, therefore I don't approve of it. You know?
I'm just gonna let you stew in that silence.
Well, you're gonna hate the next one I have to say too about movie theaters.
Okay.
Clapping. No, will not do it.
Yeah, that's in the same vein as clapping when the plane lands.
Exactly.
It's expected.
Well, I started a clap on the airplane.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
While watching Big Bang.
Yeah, I did. I swear I did ironically. But the plane landed. I was like, let's go. Good. The qualified guy did the thing he was supposed to do. Let's go.
Yeah. Woo! Thank you for doing your job.
But that's why I appreciate movies like The Batman. No stop for applause. More of that, please.
More of that, please. Any final thoughts?
All I have here is that nerds are weird. I think I wrote that in relation to, again, the Star Wars scene. And then I just wrote Star Wars sucks.
You're such a loser.
Yeah,
I hate you. Why did I agree to do this show?
I like episode 7.
Everyone likes episode 7.
It's fun. But those next two, they lost me.
Rank the dang show. Rank the episode.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah!
I started off at an 8.
9.3. I gave it a 9.3. IMDb gave it a 9.0. Don't look at me like that.
And what's the 0.3 for?
I liked it. It's because I liked it.
Okay.
I don't know. When we rank hundreds of episodes, at some point there's got to be a defining factor. Like, oh, this episode 8 is not the same as this 8. You know, it makes it seem less special. Add the decimal system. Gives you a little bit more room to wiggle.
Moving on.
You're the worst. This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we got to move on to season 12, episode 23.
The second to last episode.
Second to last.
The change constant. Sheldon and Amy await big news. They are awaiting whether or not they get a Nobel Peace Prize. It is not revealed until the next episode, but that's the big news they're awaiting. So when you came into the episode, they did the previously on Big Bang. They started at episode 1. That had me in my feels. That was awesome. That was so well put together. That was awesome. I loved it.
I can enjoy a good recap, and this did.
But that wasn't a recap. That was like, I don't know. It was like a fan cam. You know, like stuff
it was
you see
a
on
recap
Twitter.
of the entire season,
Not the season, the show. It was the entire series.
It was a recap of the entire series.
It was awesome. I was crying. I got misty-eyed. It's not the only time I got misty-eyed today, too.
It was fine. It was solid. You know, I'm not going to cry over it or anything, but, you know, it definitely
You're
happened.
such a loser, Frank.
All right, first note I got for this episode is Leonard says that he likes his coffee black and strong like Luke Cage. I appreciate that's a funny comment. I appreciate that. I also...
Amy ain't frumpy.
I also said this show makes me want to vape because it's like a smarter cigarette. And
What does that mean, Frank? What does that mean?
well, because I think it's because halfway through the episode I got this thought that if Sheldon got caught with a vape and someone said you can't smoke in here, he'd do, technically I'm vaping. So I think that's why I wrote that down, but I'm not too sure.
You and I have very different viewpoints about the sense of humor in this show.
I also said Leonard looks so old and sad now. He's got like...
Well, because we went from what, season 3
Yeah,
to
to, like,
season 12?
yeah, but
Guy's
like,
10 years older now.
He's also got this weird thing with his hair because like for the majority of the show, I feel like it's just the normal curly
Slick
hair.
back. And
Yeah,
he has a
but
perm in the last few episodes, right?
it's not a perm though. It's like
curly into the
swoop.
side.
It's
Yeah,
like
but
swoop
it's
to what-
permed.
Yeah, but it's like he's doing the swoop on one side. I'm like, dude, you're like 50. Don't do that. Don't.
Oh man, there's not really a lot to say about this episode. Honestly, I think it's
No.
overhyped for where it's at in the rankings.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of setup. I also wrote I can't name anyone that has won a Nobel Prize. Maybe it's because I'm ignorant, but I don't.
Albert Einstein,
He got me there.
you suck.
Hey, I guess. And then I also wrote that science is more powerful than marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the piece of paper with a medal.
Yes, exactly. You got to get that medal. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think the episode, it was okay.
Yeah, that's
It-
how I felt about it. It was fine.
I'm glad that when we did go
The-
back to the rankings, we did get the last episode too.
The Nobel scene where they get it, that had me emotional. But really, anything else?
Everything-
Weren't a lot of jokes.
No.
Just a whole lot of setup for the final episode, which is usually what happens in a two-parter.
Which is fine.
That's fine, but this is so high up in the rankings, I think, just because second to last episode of a 12-season sitcom, and it's a part of a two-parter.
They did get the elevator fixed though.
They did fix
That
the
was-
elevator,
Okay, that was
and
easily,
Sheldon freaked out about it. That was one of the best jokes of the
easily
day.
best part. I think was when Penny comes up through the elevator and it's like, oh, it's working again.
Yeah.
Like you go, girl.
Yeah.
Thanks
You
for-
turned around at one point and said, "Is this girl bossing?"
That is.
Oh,
Dude,
because they
she-
glammed up Amy. They glammed up
They
Amy.
did glam up Amy.
And
yeah.
you turned around and said, "Is this girl bossing?"
Okay, but no. Also, Penny walks out of the elevator wearing a pink skirt, pink shirt,
It was
pink
a
dress
pantsuit.
jacket.
It was a pantsuit.
I thought it was a skirt.
I can't.
It could be
whatever.
either or.
I
but
don't do fashion.
I don't do fashion either, but she's looking fancy and the all pink comes out of the freshly fixed elevator. It's like the elevator works, guys. Damn. you tell them. You tell them that elevator's fixed.
Yeah. You tell them.
All right. Overall ranking on the episode, we just gave our thoughts. What are you giving the episode?
7-2. 7-2.
I give it a 6.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty on par. We've been about one off on everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not great, Bob.
no.
And then we got into a really good. I think this one's funny. This is from early on in the show, season 2, episode 11, the bath item gift hypothesis.
Yes.
December 15th, 2008. Leonard is disappointed when Penny develops an interest in an attractive physicist at the university. Meanwhile, Sheldon struggles to find an appropriate Christmas gift for Penny.
Just want to right off the bat, I love and hate the cold opening of this episode because I love it because I've been to comic book stores
Give the context.
I'm gonna give it, but I'm just gonna as someone who frequented the comic book stores monthly to get their issues.
Nerd.
I know.
Nerd.
As someone who would do that, I have heard grown men argue about the dumbest things. So here in the 4 main characters of this show arguing over, what was it, Superman's Kryptonian pajamas or something along those lines?
Yes, his sweat. Like what
oh.
happens when he gets Kryptonian sweat in his suit.
And they're arguing over which Kryptonian cloth will help with the sweat and everything. That's funny. However, it's also frustrating because, like I said, I have heard real people talk about this like it is something that mattered. So, hold on.
Are you saying it doesn't matter?
We have so many real life things here that do matter. I don't care if Superman's sweating. I don't care what's happening. It does not matter.
Oh, that was good. My first note I just have down is Gay panic episode ?
Yeah.
The attractive physicist comes up to Leonard and asks to work with him.
And who wouldn't want to work with David Underhill?
Exactly.
Did you see
David Underhill's a very attractive man.
David Underhill's got spiked 2000s hair. He's got his cool 2000s leather jacket with the white stripes on it.
Michael Trucco.
Google him.
Plays Dr. David Underhill.
Yeah. I mean, his age might be questionable. He rides a motorcycle.
Yes.
His age might be questionable in relation to Penny, who's only 22.
Yeah, they dropped that bomb on me. I was like, if Leonard has a doctorate, he's at least 28, 29, maybe even 30.
You better hope that he's
27.
28, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
At least when she's like 25, 3 years later, it's not as weird. But it's still not great.
But she was still 22
and
at
she
one
does not
point.
look
No.
22.
Oh.
She does not look 22. She looks at least 26, 27 in these episodes. Sorry.
This was season 2, right?
Yes. Season 2.
I'm hoping that maybe this was like an age they just threw out there, and maybe they like retconned it in later. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because if
Just
not,
redacted it.
yeah. Because if not, it's kind of
It kind of throws a wrench in the marriage for you.
It's just really weird, and 22 seems very, very young.
Yeah.
But you know what are you gonna do? I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a note here. David invites Leonard to the gym. I said I'd love to see Leonard at the gym. I don't think he could lift a dumbbell, but that's okay.
There is an episode later on where Leonard goes to the gym because he's up for tenure, and one of the people on the committee goes to the gym, and he goes there, and he faints about after 10 seconds on the elliptical.
Great.
So I don't know why I know that off the top of my head. I hate myself. Leonard getting jealous, my note here is that is peak Big Bang. Like, that is peak early season Big Bang. That is like the first 3 seasons, every other episode, Leonard's getting jealous at a man.
Good.
It's pretty simple. And that's peak Big Bang. And they do a good job of it. It doesn't get too redundant, I don't think. I think it's always a different angle. Like here, Penny's coming into the university to look at the science equipment.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I did like so you're into science all of a sudden. I really did enjoy the Christmas setting for this one. I wrote in my notes here, nerds can't have anything nice. They just have to ruin everything in relation to Sheldon explaining some origin with Christmas and why he doesn't
celebrate.
Yeah, why he
What a
doesn't
loser.
celebrate. I'm like, dude, just celebrate Christmas, man.
Yeah, don't be a weirdo, man. Just celebrate Christmas, man.
I also have a note here when Penny first meets David and was like, "Oh, you're a physicist, really?" I just wrote here, "Oh yeah, nerds can't be attractive." I forgot. That's why she doesn't believe he's a physicist.
That's why you're so damn ugly.
Boo. They also scored a point here as they mentioned the title of the episode.
To me, that was CinemaSins. That was a CinemaSin to me.
I see it as a win.
No, that's a CinemaSin. If you're watching the CinemaSin YouTube channel, ding, saying the title in the thing, and then that's a sin. That gets one in the counter for me.
Okay, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here because I hate the titles of the Big Bang Theory episodes. If you can fit the title into a line and make it sound natural, give yourself a point. That's impressive because I hate how these episodes are named because it's always like a normal sounding title, and then they'll just throw a big word in there.
That's the point.
For absolutely no reason.
It's a bunch of scientists.
And I'm just like,
big words.
Maybe I have a hard time liking this show because I'm just a dumbass.
You said, is this show too smart for me?
Maybe this show is just unlocking insecurities in myself.
It's one way to look at it.
I think that's one way to look at it. But
what are you insecure about, Frank? Talk to me. I'm right here for you, baby.
Well, considering this whole Big Bang Theory thing, I would say maybe I'm just a dumbass. I didn't understand a thing that they were saying about, the motorcycle falling. I'm like,
fair enough.
Yeah, what does that even? I don't know what that even means, man.
Emotional Sheldon at the end of the episode when he receives his Leonard Nimoy napkin. That is good Sheldon right
That's
there.
Good
That is my favorite type of Sheldon, the overwhelmed, emotional Sheldon that he doesn't know what to do when he feels.
Oh yeah, that's good Sheldon. Except I had a complaint about that because I said there's no way Leonard Nimoy's eating at the Cheesecake Factory. I don't care.
In Pasadena.
Me and my girlfriend have been to the Cheesecake Factory like once or twice.
Oh wow, just drop in they have a girlfriend. That's cool.
Yeah, one up on the Big Bang Theory characters. Let's go.
They all have girlfriends at the end of the show.
Let's go.
They're all couples.
No, but that's besides the point. All I'm saying is the second time we went to the Cheesecake Factory, I realized it was fake fancy. I got like some buffalo chicken pasta.
It's called the Cheesecake
and
Factory.
No,
and
Leonard
you thought fancy. That's like going to Maggiano's thinking it's black tie.
Maggiano's is kind of fancy though. And I'm not going to argue this with you because it is. I paid the bill.
I didn't say
That's
it's not
an
fancy.
expensive
I said it's
bill.
not black tie.
No one said anything about Thai food.
This show was a mistake.
Are you walking away?
I'm thinking about it. This show was a mistake. This show is the ultimate shitcom.
My final note was, haha, girl do science because Leonard gave Penny a science kit for children.
Haha, girls can't do science. Haha, haha. Like, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
Girls can do science.
Yeah, girls do science.
Girls do science all the time. What was your overall ranking for this episode?
IMBD has it at a 9.1. I have it at a 9.2.
I gave it a 7.
What? I thought this episode was great. I think it's hilarious.
It was fine. It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
You sound like my girlfriend talking about the dinner I gave her.
It was fine.
Would you take her to Cheesecake Factory?
No, Lucky Panda.
I never even heard of that.
It's a local Chinese joint. I enjoy it. I think it's good.
That's probably your first mistake.
She loves Chinese food.
Clearly not. She just thinks it's fine.
We were trying a new place.
Well, that's what you get.
Yeah, happens to the best of us, I guess.
So, like, all I'm saying, the episode in general, it was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as funny as you thought it was. I thought it was kind of funny. I do want to try the spiked eggnog. That's interesting.
I can't believe you never heard of that.
I'm sure I've heard of it before, but I just forgot it was a thing, and then they just sprung it up on us. All right, Alex.
You're a weird little man.
They call Howard that. They call Howard that.
You are the Howard Wolowitz of this place that we are in.
You know, there's so many other candidates for that I don't even apply at this point. Moving on to the next episode, we got season 12, episode 24.
It is the series finale, the Stockholm Syndrome. Bernadette and Wolowitz leave their kids for the first time. Penny and Leonard try to keep a secret. Sheldon and Amy stick together, and Cuthbert Polly makes a new friend as the gang travels together into an uncharted future.
It was okay. It was okay. It was fine.
It's the series finale of a 12-season sitcom.
Dude.
How can it only be fine? It is emotional. It is funny. It has every aspect of the 12 seasons of Big Bang Theory wrapped up into one nice bow. It is a beautiful send-off to a fantastic show.
You done?
Yes.
Okay. In my opinion, whenever I've watched
You don't deserve an opinion.
Hey, silence. Whenever there has been a series finale for a sitcom, it really hasn't been what I wanted it to be. So it's not just a Big Bang Theory thing. It's also, like I said, it's also for Seinfeld. I didn't think that the Seinfeld season finale was all that great. I think The Office is fine for a season finale.
Series
finale. Malcolm in the Middle is okay. Everybody Hates Chris is decent. But I feel like sitcoms have a really hard time pulling that sort of storytelling off. And a lot of this Big Bang Theory episode, I felt like up until the ending, it was just sort of like, okay, we got to do the thing where Sheldon upsets everyone so that they can come back together for a emotional ending. And I see what you're saying by...
That is the show.
I know.
That is the show. What did you want to happen there?
I know that you're saying like that's what the show has been, but I also feel like character development for Sheldon has put him sort of past the point where he's doing this as much as or where he's annoying people as much as he is in this episode, you know?
I guess.
It's sort of like pushy.
But the thing is, it's all amplified because to him, this is a trip for him. They're going to Sweden for him so that he and his wife can accept a Nobel Peace Prize. A Nobel Physics Prize, excuse me.
Yes. I understand that, but I also feel like 12 seasons of character development dictates that he should, even though he is supposed to be selfish in this moment, 12 seasons of character development shouldn't get thrown out the window.
The thing is, though, he hasn't really developed into someone that can realize that. It's the longest, slowest burning arc I have ever seen. Even if they look at young Sheldon, which I haven't watched past the first 4 episodes.
That's too many already. four for young Sheldon is a lot of episodes.
That's going to be a good one when we do young Sheldon. We're going to be a wreck.
God.
It's who he is. It's who he's always been.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him being in the spotlight for him to realize what these people mean to him. And I think it's a beautiful way to send off a very fun show.
I do agree. I think the send-off at the end and everything was really nice. I like the whole speech where he calls everyone out and they all get their little moment. I just didn't entirely enjoy the path it took to get there, especially when I feel like in the episodes that we have watched, I have seen Sheldon come very far as a character. So to see him sort of revert back to old behavior just because it's a series finale feels a little...
Yeah.
It just kind of betrays the character a little bit.
My one complaint is I wish the Leonard and Penny pregnant storyline that they drop on us in the series finale was drawn out more. This is the love story of 12 years. And you're going to tell me on the last time I'm ever going to see them that, hey, we're pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay. Why not draw it out? Why not make them hide the lie a little longer? Because when they find out 4 minutes later in the episode, when everybody else finds out by Sheldon telling them, it's not as, I don't want to say meaningful, but it's not as effective as, Big Bang comedy goes, as sitcom comedy goes.
I just also think that for a season finale, I don't think every character got to be there and actually shine. Like Raj and Howard, they were there.
Raj had a very poor showing in the last episode.
It was funny.
Outside of the dog jokes, and they did bring in...
They had Sarah Michelle Gellar there, Buffy the Vampire
Buffy the Vampire
That was
Slayer.
funny that she showed up. But other than that, Raj isn't doing anything. And that's kind of a shame because I think Raj is funny.
Oh, and Bert, Brian Potion. Bert got one last showing. I like Bert. Bert's such an underrated character.
That was pretty much the finale. I think it was pretty average.
I wish you wouldn't say that.
I would say. I do have one note.
Yeah.
When Leonard pretty much just asked Penny if she wants to have sex right now, I just wrote, still no world exists where Penny and Leonard are together. I still won't suspend my disbelief for that, especially with the stupid one-sided perm. It bugs me. He looks so much older than her in these later episodes.
Well.
And it just makes the whole 22-year-old thing...
that
much, yeah.
So, yeah, the rewatching this and you having there to point out details kind of has me questioning their relationship a little bit, which is sad because I like their relationship. It's one of my favorites.
It's a nice relationship. I'd say it's about the same as you'd get with a Jim and Pam in The Office or something like that.
Not quite Jim and Pam. I think Jim and Pam surpasses Penny and Leonard.
But same basic ideas.
Kind of.
So what are you going for your final ranking for this episode?
This episode, 9.8. 9.8. I think it is the perfect Big Bang episode. I don't think you could do anything else to bring in just about everything you could want out of Big Bang outside of a few more Wallowitz and Raj jokes.
Okay. Now, I didn't put a ranking down for this last episode, so I'm just going to do it right on the spot.
Okay, right off the cuff?
Right off the cuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Okay, that's pretty good for you.
And the only reason why I'm putting a 0.5 is because I don't want to upset you. And here, what? You're not going to give it whatever ranking I want you to? It's an 8.5. I think as far as finales go, it's nice. It's a nice finale.
It's a very good finale.
Yes.
Like I said, there are series... You alluded to it. A lot of series finales are disappointing.
Yeah.
I think this is not disappointing. I think it's right up there with The Good Place. I think The Good Place had a very good series finale.
Okay. I think before the last shot where they're eating the Chinese food on the couch again, which is very Big Bang Theory, and then before Sheldon's
the sad
speech,
outro.
I know.
Oh my God, I was misty eyed. I was legitimately misty eyed on my bed.
Oh, I heard the sad outro, and I'm like, dude, give me a break. We get it. I love that song because it's so upbeat. Don't do this. Don't try to manipulate me now.
Oh, watch them.
But before those two moments, I just felt like the episode was just sort of business as usual for the show.
Which is how you kind of want a series finale to be.
Yeah, I guess. But like I said, I just think that...
It's a show that life will go on.
Yeah.
The characters still exist in your mind. Go write your fan fiction, you weirdo.
Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as a Seinfeld season finale or series finale.
Stop bringing up the Seinfeld series finale.
I don't like it. We're going to get it. I'm sure we'll get into it eventually.
I'm sure it's down the road for us somewhere.
But I'd say overall, I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8? Wow.
I'm gonna give it an 8, yeah.
You liked it?
I think what worked for the show really, really worked. And what didn't work is just me being an asshole.
Yeah.
And that's completely
that is your
okay.
predetermined prejudices and...
Yeah. That's completely okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a very solid show. I think it does a lot of things right. It's funny at times.
You laughed a lot more than I thought you would. With how much trash you're talking about it prior, I thought for sure you wouldn't.
I laughed a lot more than I thought I would laugh too, and that's very surprising. Yeah. I was not expecting to
giggle, have a good time.
Giggle, yeah. Like I didn't doubt it would be a good time watching it with you. I'm just saying I didn't think I would actually enjoy it, and especially watching an early episode, seeing Sheldon's development, and then tracking it to a later episode and seeing obvious growth.
Yes,
that's cool.
Yes. So and that's what you want out of a
exactly.
character. And you got to do it for 12 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. So
Big Bang Theory.
I will give the Big Bang Theory that. Overall ranking for you, Alex?
9.5. It is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time.
Give it a 10.
No, I can't give it a 10. No, I don't want to give it a 10. I will never give anything a 10. I think it's up there with some of my favorites.
Okay.
Community, Arrested Development, which we'll get to down the road, I'm sure. Parks and Rec, shows like that. When I think of what's a sitcom that'll make me like a comfort show.
Yeah.
This is in my comfort shows. When I just want to sit down, not think about anything, have stress be relieved. I'll throw on, The Big Bang is in that category.
Yeah. Totally fair.
All right.
I don't personally think I would see it in that light. I just don't see myself turning on the Big Bang Theory just because I want to.
Technically, it's like one of the funniest shows of all time.
Like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. But it was a fun time watching it. All right, and that wraps everything up for us. Make sure you guys check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Google Podcasts.
There
you go, Frank. You got there.
Yeah, I use too much of my brain power watching The Big Bang Theory. Yeah,
you're too dumb for The Big Bang Theory.
I am too dumb to The Big Bang Theory, but I think I might be smart enough to watch King of Queens.
Yes.
Kevin James, right up my alley. That's what we're covering next week. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the very first episode of Shitcoms. This is Frank, joined by
Alex, and we'll see you guys next week.